Hello and welcome, my lords of despair, to Chris's video about the Dark Knights. We're basically going to be talking all about the Dark Knights today, whether they're good or bad, and whether you should be using them in your games. To start off, man, Dark Knights, these elite knights traded the taint of corruption for great power. Fighting in pairs, their full plates make them almost impervious to physical damage. A very, very true statement right there, man. Just talking about these guys, just straight with you, they're almost unkillable, especially when you get them up to high levels. They can die. They can indeed die, especially when you have ranged units that just like shoot them from a distance, like just spray arrows at them for a while. They will end up dying eventually. But as long as you have a little bit of micro in your soul, they shouldn't really die. If you actually look at their health and their defense bar right there, oh snap, 100% on both, and then only like a full 40%, 50% attack right there. Like, okay. So their attack's a little low, but like, oh my god, health and armor, like, they've got to be unbelievable. They've got to be the best armor in the game with those stats, right? Well, let's talk about it, man. We got to jump in the game. Let's talk about their skills first of all. Brutal Strike, they have a chance of executing their enemy on each hit. So I believe it goes up to, it's 2, 4, it's 6% execution rate, but they do have a pretty slow attack, so it's not going to happen as often as you might think. This one's actually really interesting. The Armor of Thorns. Dark Knights deal damage when they receive a melee hit from an enemy. So they have really fast attacking things. They kill themselves by attacking. Like, that's pretty sweet. I love that. I think of it as like Thornmail from League of Legends. Then we get Impervious. Dark Knights shield themselves, resisting up to 3 hits without receiving damage. This thing's a little bit wonky. I'm not sure I like it. I would actually recommend for your Dark Knights to not put this up, alright? And I'll talk about that once we hop in the game here, guys. As usual, the disclaimer is you do not need to buy any towers to beat the game. It's only for fun purposes and all that stuff, so we will be talking about all the free towers up in here, as well as talking about all of the paid towers. So here's the Dark Knights. Has a low tier, 130 health, 2 to 3 damage. Low damage, man. But medium armor already. We're going up medium armor still. 4 to 11 health. Like, oh my god. Medium armor still, but now up to 4th tier, man. Whoop! There it is. We go up to high armor, 3rd tier. 3 shields, whatever that means. It's good. It's good. We didn't have to spend that much money to get this guy. Pretty reasonable amount, I'd say. Pretty fair amount. Probably average amongst all of the different towers over here. And then let's just send out the next wave. So you only get 2 of these guys. That is pretty important to notice. You don't have 3 of them. So as far as stalling power goes, sure, each one of these guys will stall a pretty long time, but having 3 or 4 or 5 guys in the way can definitely be extremely, extremely helpful. If you look at the attack, ooh, that doesn't look too good, man. So as far as just looking at them on this test, it's not going to look very good. But that doesn't really mean too much, because the way you're supposed to do this is you're supposed to put a barracks tower down to keep the guys busy, and then you're supposed to put another damage tower down to actually kill them. So whether you're using rocket riders or mage towers or whatever, you need to end up killing these guys somehow. So the best way to actually kill them in this map, and especially on a lot of levels, is to get the Armor of Thorns. Go up to 30 damage per melee attack and 45 per melee attack. So it's funny because guess what? The Dark Knights aren't going to kill anybody. They're going to kill themselves. Look at that. Every time they attack, they lose a ton of health, and they're killing themselves. It's wonderful. I love it. So especially against these really fast-attacking, sort of weak guys who are just like, bam, 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 they kill them frickin' selves. It's wonderful. So if you're ever getting the Dark Knights, highly recommend the middle path upgrade all the way up. Like, just get it up. The people will kill themselves. The faster they attack, the better it is. But 45 damage is nothing to mess around with. That's stronger than their attack themselves. Like I said, they're going to kill themselves more than you kill them with that upgrade right there. Moving on, we're going to talk about the left-sided upgrade here, the Brutal Strike, which has a 2% chance of executing enemy, or insta-killing. Execution, insta-killing, same thing. Go up to 4% chance here, and then you can go all the way up to, if you want to, man, you can go all the way up to a 6% chance. But I should mention that this is pretty expensive. We're talking about about $700 actually to get up to 3rd tier right here. That's an expensive amount of money. That's the price of getting another 4th tier, Dark Knights over here. So one thing we're noticing is these guys are actually dying. Even with the high armor, look at this, he's down to 24 health at this point. He actually can indeed die. Keep that in mind when you're playing this game. It's not like Dark Knights are impenetrable. They still, even with full health and full armor, can still die to even regular standard units. It's not all that likely. And most of the time, you're going to end up killing people with other random towers here. But if you get in a huge battle or something like that, they can die. So just be a little careful with them. Don't think of them as impenetrable, unbeatable forces. But a 6% insta-kill rate, with their slow speed, I don't find it to be as efficient enough. I feel like it should be closer to like a 10% or something like that. I don't know, but when you see it, it's actually really cool. Their sword turns into a chainsaw. You hear the chainsaw and everything. It goes, and you buzz right through the guys, which is pretty cool. But you can tell, like, we haven't even insta-killed anybody in a long time. And if you're fighting some stronger units over here, man, you really want to get that insta-kill happening. One of the saddest things about it is, oh, there we go, boom, take them down. One of the saddest things about the insta-kill is that, of course, you can't pick who you're going to insta-kill. It's not about a timed thing, like every 30 seconds or every 45 seconds or something like that, where you can time it, like move them out of the way really quick and be like, wait, there's a really strong unit coming, we're going to pop them back into existence over here. You can't do that. You just have to fight and hope that the strong guy ends up getting taken down by that stuff. Alright, so that's those two upgrades. The last upgrade we need to talk about is Impervious. And I actually recommend that you guys don't get the Impervious upgrade most of the time. And the reason why is because, you're trying to get... unless you're just trying to go full defense, trying to turtle. But the problem is again, your attack, that 6% insta-kill rate, is based on you attacking, not based on time. So whenever you get this, you're lowering your chance of insta-killing people, which kind of sucks. I mean, sure, you're going to be alive a little longer, but you're lowering your chance of insta-killing people by turning into a shield for a little while. It ends up kind of sucking, actually. But there it is. You can see, like, we're not attacking anybody. We're just being an impenetrable shield for a little while. Sure, it seems like it's kind of nice because we can't get hurt, and other towers are going to be doing damage to these guys, but it's gonna hurt them overall as a damage doer, as a killer. If I had to give it a rating to these guys, I would actually say that I don't like them as much as the Orc's Den. I would give them around a 5 out of 10, actually. I don't really like them that much. I don't find them to be as useful as I want them to be. Sure, they can defend very, very well, but having only 2 of them is definitely one of the main factors that makes me not like them that much. I like having 3 guys. I like having more guys in the way to bundle them up, so my other towers, especially my furnaces and my artillery-type towers, can do the real damage that they need to do. If you guys liked my video, you think I did a good job explaining these guys, feel free to press the like button. If you think I did a bad job, tell me why in the comments below, and dislike the video. Say, Chris, this thing sucks. I know you did a bad job, and I like the Dark Knights. And that's cool. You can like the Dark Knights as one of your towers. I'm not talking about them in terms of coolness. I'm talking about them in terms of goodness. And I like them, and I think they have a really cool factor to them. They look cool, they're fun to play with, but they're still just not that great of a tower here, guys. So, yeah, press that like button for me if you want, subscribe if you haven't, and of course, have a super duper delicious day.